Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna cover the part 2 of Unreal Product Visualization. So, in the last video, we completed, getting the model, setting up the table and the walls. So, now if we switch back to lit mode, I'll just show you that. You can see it's all dark, it's total darkness, it's blacked out, and we go back to unlit and we can see our walls, our you know bottle and table. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create lighting for the scene. So to create lighting we need to give immersive lighting to the walls. So we have three walls like this here, so now we'll have to give them a material. So let's create a new material. Let's create a folder named material. So you can keep whatever name you like. So under that, let's create a new material, wall underscore light underscore immersive. Or let's just keep it wall underscore light. It'll be better. So once we open the material, you get this section. So just search for constant 3 vector. Now this is the on your right you can see is the normal basic material constant. Now we need to add constant 3 vector. So once you search, you'll get something like this. Let's connect the node to base color and then search for. Now let's search for multiply. Let's search for multiply. Let's connect the main constant 3 vector node to A, and then let's search for a constant 0. So let's give a value of somewhere around 10, and then let's connect it to B. Now as you can see, we can't see anything because the color is obviously black. So let's change the color to, and then just fix this node to emissive color, and let's just change. Now let's just change the color to bright red. Let's see how it looks. Now once I go back to lit mode, nice, you can see a bright red wall which is emitting our light. So basically we're going to create the lighting in such a way that it emits from a source. So wall is our source and it's emitting light from that. So now let's create, you can see, nice setting. So let's put in all the three walls. Now you can see it gives a nice light source which is emitting from all the three sides. Now let's duplicate the behind wall and let's create a top wall so that it looks like it's inside a room type of thing. So let's do that. Before that, let's check everything is proper. Yes. One thing to make sure is that you need to check everything before you do next step and save everything in Unreal Engine, because the possibility of it crashing is a lot. So to bypass that, you just have to keep on checking. So here I've decreased the lighting a bit and it looks much more smoother if you see. So now let's duplicate the behind wall and let's make a top wall which will give it as a nice studio type environment here. So let's rotate it 90 degree and put it up, put it down, and let's scale it a bit. I think, yeah, let's scale it a bit. Perfect. Yep. So now it gives us a very studio environment type
Now,
look.
what
So
we'll
now
do
what we're
is
gonna do
we'll give
is
different color to
let's
different walls.
see. So rather than
Right,
keeping one
perfect.
static red all over the place, let's give it a nice studio type environment look. So to do that, I have created 4 duplicates of it. So let's rename the first duplicate. Just press Ctrl C, Ctrl V to create the duplicates of the material. So I've created 4 material here. So let's rename all these materials for left wall, right wall, top wall, back wall. So let's do that. Left wall, then we'll do Right wall, and then back wall. And we'll keep it back wall. B wall for back. So now let's give the, so let's see, let's put the top one, let's give it a whitish color. Let's see how it looks. And let's connect the mode. Nice. It gives us a very studio type environment look here. Emitting different colors. It's beautiful. So let's go to the right wall. Let's give it a bluish color. Let's start giving it the color. Now for the blue, a bit blue. Let's see. Blue. You can give any color you like, which is a bit brighter color, I would say. So this blue, I think I'll have to make it very blue. It looks still white to me. So let's make it much more bluer. Make sure you select, some bright colors rather than some any, dull colors which won't emit, light. So now it looks perfect. Much more bluer in color. Now let's give the back wall a different color. Save everything. Then yeah. Now comes the back wall. We can give some color to the back wall. We can give around yellow. Yellow will look good. Yep. Yellow, red, blue, and white. So looks perfect. Looks good. Looks pretty. Looks gives us a very studio environment type look. The bottle is being it's the main attraction rather than the walls because that's what we have to focus on. So let's add fog. Let's go to volumes and let's add a post process volume before we add, or we'll add this fog first. So this local fog, or you can select any which, you won't get that feel when you apply it to your scene, but it gives a good what we say look. It won't, you can't see it, but it'll be a very hint, a very small hint of change in the scene. Sometimes it's visible, sometimes it's not. So let's increase the fog scalability or density, and yeah, lights, and let's add a point light. So in lights, sorry, not a point light, a spotlight. Sorry, my bad. So once you take the spotlight and bring it closer to the bottle. So, so what? Why are we selecting the spotlight? Is that it will, make the bottle much more at, the center of attraction, I would say. So it gives much more lighting. So that's a basic rule, because we are making a product visualization, and if the walls are becoming much more stronger than the product itself, it's not it's not acceptable, then it won't be a product visualization. So let's add a spotlight. So the spotlight gives, the particular product the more importance, from the top. So we have this with that. Now let's add post process volume. So this is very useful for your baking and all this stuff. So let's first search for infinite action, and then let's click that. And so this is one of the optimization techniques for cinematics or anything in Unreal Engine. So let's search for manual, but manual, if you see, it becomes totally dark. So uh, first just play around with the numbers here a bit. So we'll even search for this. Not that, sorry, my bad. Yeah, exposure. Let's go to auto exposure basic, and then let's play with this numerical here. So if I put it down, it becomes much more darker. So you are setting it the scene manually, the lighting of the scene manually. So let's keep it one only. Let's keep it how it is, and then let's film grain. Let's search for film grain. So film grain looks, it gives us the grainy texture which films usually have. Ads or films, it will have the grainy video cam texture. So Let's search for that film grain. Again, so I'm setting the intensity to 1. You can it's better to keep the intensity to a lower value, because more intensity will just add more grains to it, the video grains to it. So the more lesser, the more better it looks. So it depends if you're creating an action sequence, so it depends on that. So here we have our spotlight, our post process, all perfectly done and ready. Now we in the next tutorial will come to the final part of Unreal Product Visualization, that is the cinematics part, and that's what's one of the most crucial, one of the most easiest and the fun things to do in Unreal Engine. So let's meet in the final part. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Let's meet next time.